Okay, so now that we've covered the different types of deployment, we're going to stick with the first grip, which is the underhand grip, okay? So once again, you want your thumb as a thumb stop, your hand all the way up there. And the first energy we're going to talk about is a broken energy. Broken energy means it starts from one side of the body, retracts, and goes back to that side of the body, or it goes to the opposite side, but it's not one fluid attack. This is more for the puncturing aspect of the use of this pen. Now, the idea here is that we're going to base it off a flinch response, meaning either I flinch because I'm being attacked and the pen is already in the hand, or I create distance. So there are two ranges here. This is extreme close, like I'm getting attacked close quarter, or I have time to do so. And what we're doing here is we're talking about a shield. If you think about the hand as a hand shield or the fending off, that's what we're doing here. I'm creating distance so that I have time to chamber the pen for a thrust, okay? So the idea here is to create distance and thrust and come back. So this is what I mean by broken. It goes back and forth, okay? Now the idea of creating this hand is when I create a distance off this, I deliver a strike and come back. So there are multiple strikes going on. There is a strike and a strike with a pen. Strike with a hand, strike with a pen. Depending on your range, I'd rather strike with the bone, but I can also poke the eye or keep the distance. The main thing is creating the distance, and I strike down. Right now, the targets I'm using are not specific to any part of the body. We'll discuss that later on with areas. Right now, we're simply talking about what I use in Mercari Kali is a clock system. This is basically arriving at 1 o'clock, that diagonal strike. And the exercise there is to simply create distance and go 1 o'clock, come back. 1 o'clock, come back. Because when you're coming back here, that's when this creates an opening and they can attack. This is to fend off. Strike, 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 all at once. A very simple move that you're doing at the 1 o'clock, which is a diagonal angle. Okay, so that's the idea there. If I am extreme close quarter, this is a strike that I would create to use the elbow and then strike and then create distance. Strike, 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 right? Strike, strike, strike. Strike, strike, strike. The pen, once again, I keep saying, is the exclamation point to your whole sentence. It doesn't have to be the direct one. The reason for that is, remember, you have other facets of your body that you want to put together. This is, once again, using your flinch response as a strike, create distance, and the pen goes through. Once again, the strike, strike, strike. Now, the other angle can also be an extreme on the side if the side is open. Strike, strike, rib. Strike, strike, rib, and back to this again. You're also able to do it at 3 o'clock, but the main thing is that you don't strike and create an opening. I'm basically keeping it simple for this level to have it at 1 o'clock and at 3 o'clock, at range. The idea here is that you create range. Now notice, because I have range, I have many other tools to do this. It's not just striking with the forearm and then the pen. I can cover the face and then the pen. I can poke the eye and then the pen. I can hit the elbow, forearm, and then the pen. The pen, of course, can either go at 1 o'clock on the diagonal angle or at a horizontal angle. I can hit with the elbow at the diagonal angle, hit with the elbow at the horizontal angle. The key here is that we're practicing angles of attack so that later on, when you start to learn accuracy drills, you're able to hit every target, because clothing consideration is important. This is not sharp to be able to penetrate that. It's all about impact. You're wearing thick jacket in winter and everything else, all that impact is not going to matter. An example for that, you see it here on the shoulder, but if I were to take that, that's my 1 o'clock, that's my 3 o'clock. So you start to see how these angles are all about just accuracy when I'm learning how to strike with a pen.